Welcome to Data Clues, your go-to channel for unraveling the most chilling and shocking true crime stories. Here we dive deep into the darkest corners of humanity, uncovering the events that leave us questioning everything we thought we knew. Tonight, we are uncovering the haunting story of Elizabeth Smart, a 14-year-old who terrifying abduction and miraculous rescue become one of the most infamous cases in US history. This is not just a tale of horror, it's the story of survival. Let's dive into the details. It was seemingly normal night on 5th of June 2002 in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Smart family was sound asleep in their quiet home in the upscale Federal Heights neighborhood. But as the clock struck 2 a.m., a nightmare unfolded. Brian David Mitchell, a self-proclaimed prophet and drifter, crept into the house through an open kitchen window. With a knife in his hand, he silently made his way to the bedroom where Elizabeth and her younger sister, Mary Catherine, slept. Holding the knife to Elizabeth's throat, Mitchell ordering her to follow him. Mary Catherine, just 9-year-old at the time, pretended to sleep, frozen with fear. She later recalled hearing the chilling word, "If you make a noise, I will kill your family." And just like that, Elizabeth was gone. The next morning, the Smart family awoken to nightmare. Elizabeth was gone and there was no sign to force entry. The family immediately called the police, but there were few clues to go on. Mary Catherine, a traumatized but observant, provided the first piece of the puzzle. She told investigators about the intruder's voice and demeanor, described him as calm and soft-spoken. However, in early days of the investigation, the information wasn't enough to lead to suspect. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was taken to a remote campsite in the mountains, just 3 miles from her home. There, she was met by Wanda Brace, Mitchell's wife and accomplice. Together, the couple subjects Elizabeth to unspeakable horrors. Mitchell, a man with delusions of divine purpose, claims that God had commanded him to take young girls and plural wives. After a twisted marriage ceremony, Mitchell began abusing Elizabeth. She was chained to a tree, deprived of food, and forced to wear a veil to conceal her identity. For months, Elizabeth endured this nightmare. Mitchell brainwashed her, threatening her that her family would be killed if she ever tried to escape. Despite proximity to her home, she felt isolated, hopeless, and afraid. The disappearance of Elizabeth Smart quickly became nation's news. Volunteers and law enforcement campaigned through the area, but the search yielded no results. Months later, Mary Catherine had breakthrough. She recognized the voice of the abductor as Emmanuel, a man who had once done handyman work for the family. The Smart family provided this lead to the police, but it wasn't immediately followed up. Finally, in February 2003, a sketch of Emmanuel was broadcast across the nation. It was this sketch that would eventually lead to Elizabeth's rescue. On March 12, 2003, a miracle happened. Mitchell, Brace, and Elizabeth were walking in Sandy, Utah, when the passerby recognized Mitchell from the sketch and called the police. Elizabeth was disguised in grey wig, sunglasses, and a veil. At first, she had hesitated to reveal her identity, terrified of what Mitchell might do. But the officers persisted, and finally Elizabeth said the word that brought the end of the nightmare. I am Elizabeth Smart. After 9 months in captivity, Elizabeth was finally free. Brian David Mitchell and Wanda Brace were arrested and charged with multiple crimes. Mitchell was found guilty in 2010 and sentenced to life in prison. Brace, who cooperated with investigators, received a 15-year sentence but was controversially released in 2018. This case highlighted flaws in the legal system, including delays in prosecuting Mitchell due to questions about his mental competency. Today, Elizabeth Smart is a beacon of hope. She has transformed her trauma into advocacy, founding the Elizabeth Smart Foundation and fighting for the rights of abuse survivors. She is also a wife, mother, and author of Memoir, My Story, where she shares her journey of survival and healing. Elizabeth's resilience reminds us that even the darkest moment there is a light. And that concludes tonight's story on Deadly Clues. The kidnapping of Elizabeth Smart was a tragedy, but her strength and determination to rebuild her life is truly inspiring. What are your thoughts on this case? Could it have been prevented? Let us know in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Deadly Clues for more true crime stories that uncover the darkest secret of humanity. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and always follow the clues.